She was told her body didn't fit the industry's mold. Today, she has over 2 million followers on Instagram, and brands are sliding into her DMs to pay her for it. But behind the polished reels and the designer dresses is a story that starts long before the likes, one rooted in a journey from Eastern Europe to the streets of Los Angeles, where a girl with curves decided to stop shrinking herself and start building an empire. Hello everyone, welcome back to TikTok. Today, we're diving deep into the life of Mariia Rudenok, the curvy fashion icon known as @Rudenok_official, and we're not just telling you how she got famous, we're going to follow the money, trace the mindset shifts, and uncover what it actually took to build something real. Stay with us, because this story is only getting started. Mariia Rudenok carries a name with deep Slavic roots, one that speaks to a heritage of resilience and strength. Growing up with Eastern European sensibilities, she was raised in an environment where beauty standards were strict and expectations were clearly defined. The culture she came from placed high value on a particular kind of femininity, slender, polished, traditionally graceful. For a girl whose body was naturally fuller, naturally bolder, those cultural expectations could have been a cage. She absorbed them quietly as a child, watching the world around her send signals, in magazines, in social gatherings, in the way adults spoke about beauty, that her shape was somehow a problem to be solved. But even then, something in her pushed back, a spark of self-awareness that said, this isn't the whole story. And eventually, that spark would set the whole internet on fire. When it comes to family, Mariia has kept much of her private life close to her chest, something her followers deeply respect. What we can observe from her public presence is that the people closest to her have become pillars of quiet support. Her social media tells a story of someone who loves with loyalty and lives with intention. Growing up, family dynamics for young women with non-traditional body types can be complex. Sometimes parents have their own fears about how the world will treat their child. Whether her family initially worried or quietly encouraged, what ultimately emerged was a young woman with emotional grounding. The warmth in her content, the way she genuinely connects with her audience, speaks to someone who learned somewhere early in life that love matters more than appearance. That foundation, wherever it came from, would later become one of her greatest assets as a creator. Like so many curvy women before her, Mariia's teenage years came with weight, not just physical, but emotional. Growing up in a world saturated with images of runway thinness, she faced the particular pressure of being in a body that didn't match what was being celebrated. Schools can be ruthless environments for anyone who stands out, and in a body that popular culture had long framed as too much, the social dynamics were anything but gentle. There are moments every curvy woman remembers: the sidewise glances, the careless comment from a classmate, the fitting room mirror that seemed designed to make you feel wrong. Mariia lived through those moments, but rather than let them define her ceiling, she let them define her mission. The pain of those years would later become the engine behind content that millions of women recognize as their own story. And that recognition, that's the foundation of a very powerful brand. Before Mariia Rudenok became the face millions know today, she was a young woman navigating the question that every ambitious person faces: what do I actually do with my life? Whether her academic path leaned toward fashion, communication, or the arts, her creative instincts were clearly present from early on. Many young women with her background take the expected route: traditional jobs, professional paths that feel safe. Mariia appears to have tried more conventional directions before fully committing to the world of digital content. And that early period of figuring it out, working in roles that didn't quite fit, trying on different versions of a future, was far from wasted time. Every detour taught her something about discipline, presentation, and the gap between what the world was offering her and what she actually deserved. That gap she would eventually close on her own terms. Here's where things get real. When Mariia first tried to break into the modeling and content world, the traditional industry was not exactly rolling out the red carpet. The modeling world, especially its European and American mainstream branches, had spent decades worshiping one body type. Agencies had checklists, casting directors had molds, and Mariia Rudenok, with her unapologetically curvy figure, kept being handed the same silent verdict: not quite right. Some rejections are polite, some are blunt. All of them leave a mark. She was told directly or indirectly that her size was a barrier, that she'd need to change before the industry would change her mind. She didn't, and what happened next, the choice she made when the doors stayed closed, would not only define her career, but would eventually put her in a position where those same industry standards had to come to her. The period between a dream and its reality is rarely glamorous. For Mariia, building something from scratch meant navigating real financial pressure. Living in or building toward life in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive cities in the world, with a vision that hadn't yet converted to income, is a test that breaks many people. Builds don't wait for your follower count to catch up. Rent doesn't care about your engagement rate. There were almost certainly months where the numbers were tight, where the future felt more uncertain than exciting, where doubt crept in and whispered that maybe this wasn't going to work. But she kept creating. She kept showing up. She maintained a consistency that in retrospect looks like strategy, but in the moment was probably just refusal. Refusal to quit. Refusal to let the financial pressure rewrite the story she was trying to tell. Every creator has a moment, a specific, often quiet moment, where something clicks. For Mariia, it seems to have arrived not with a viral video or a brand deal, but with a decision to stop performing a version of herself that fit other people's comfort zones, and to start showing up exactly as she was. That shift from seeking approval to offering authenticity is everything in the world of social media. Audiences are extraordinarily good at sensing the difference between someone who is trying to be liked and someone who simply is themselves. When Mariia made peace with her curves not as a brand strategy, but as a genuine act of self-acceptance, the energy in her content changed. The camera can feel that, and so can 2 million people. That inner pivot, whenever it happened, was the real beginning. Mariia's entry into the social media space was, like many great origin stories, deceptively simple. She started posting fashion content, herself in outfits, in looks, in moments that captured her aesthetic. On Instagram, where visual identity is currency, she began building hers, piece by piece, reel by reel. Her signature style emerged, polished but approachable, fashion-forward but real. Her signature caption format, asking followers to rate my outfit, turned what could have been passive scrolling into active participation. That rate my dress 1 to 1,000 energy created an immediate feedback loop that most creators don't figure out for years. Early responses were modest, as they always are, but she was learning something crucial in those early posts: what resonated, what didn't, and how her audience wanted to feel when they watched her. That education was priceless, and it was free. One of the things that separates Mariia Rudenok from creators who simply go viral and then disappear is the quality of her community. As her following began to grow, something more meaningful than numbers was forming, a genuine connection between a woman who had chosen radical self-acceptance and an audience hungry for exactly that permission. Comments on her content aren't just praise, they're recognition. Women from all over the world writing in to say, "I see myself in you. That's what I look like. That's what I've been waiting to see." Every one of those comments represented a person who had been invisible in mainstream fashion content and who suddenly wasn't. Mariia didn't just build a following, she built a mirror. And when people finally see themselves reflected back, they don't just like a post, they stay, they share, they bring their friends, and a community was born. At some point in Mariia's trajectory, the algorithm stopped being an obstacle and started being an amplifier. Her reels, sharp, visually compelling, wrapped around her signature outfit rating format, began reaching beyond her existing audience. The engagement numbers climbed, shares multiplied, new followers arrived in waves. Fashion pages, curvy content aggregators, and body-positive communities began featuring her content. Her simultaneous presence across Instagram's main feed and Reels helped her compound her reach in a way that reinforced every new post. By the time she crossed the 1 million follower mark and then pushed toward 2 million on @rudenok.official, she wasn't just a creator, she was a category, a reference point, the woman other pages pointed to when they wanted to show what confident, curvy fashion looked like in 2025 and 2026. And with that visibility came something even more valuable: leverage. Here is the part of the story that people rarely talk about, the mechanics behind the magic. With over 2 million followers across her Instagram accounts and a Threads presence approaching 100,000, Mariia entered the territory where brand partnerships stop being aspirational and start being inevitable. At the level she operates, industry estimates suggest that a single sponsored Instagram post from a creator with her following and engagement can command anywhere from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. Fashion brands, particularly in the curve and plus-size segment, where authentic representation is still rare and therefore premium, were paying attention. And the first time a brand wired a payment to Mariia Rudenok in exchange for a post that she would have made anyway, something fundamental shifted. This wasn't just income, it was validation. Market validation that her curve, her confidence, and her community had real, measurable monetary value. But the first deal was only the beginning of a much bigger financial architecture. Smart creators don't build one income stream, they build a portfolio. Mariia's monetization strategy, as it appears to have evolved,